Okay, so Donald J. Trump, there's changes that are taking place in his life, or he's resisting them, but he shouldn't, because these changes are going to happen whether he wants them to or not. So to minimize any damage and to maximize benefit from this time, it's best to not resist anything that has to end is going to end, and perhaps don't fight. Just go with the flow. So if you allow these changes to take place, then there's going to come a period afterwards in which there's going to be like a spiritual awakening and like a oneness with yourself and your core. So he's really going to know who he is after this. And there's going to be like an uplifting. What changes is Donald Trump resisting? What are the changes that Donald Trump is resisting? Oh, now there's a female in his life. I say she's a mature female. If I had to suspect, this is either going to be his wife or his daughter, Ivanka, or maybe even Tiffany. There's going to be a female in his life, and she kind of goes against the mold. She's a likable person, but she stands her ground and she doesn't really care. So it almost makes me think maybe it's Melania. Somebody else in her position might not stay with Donald Trump, but she has stuck with him. And so I think that that kind of inclines a woman that, works hard and stands her ground despite any opposition coming from other people. There are changes with Melania. Can we see more about Melania? Okay. And once again, we see that there's a resistance here that's going on. These are both cards that aren't necessarily entirely bad, because we see that, this is something in her mind, right? If it were upright, but this isn't in her mind. It's more like there's so much fighting going on, like externally, and there's pressure coming at her that she doesn't internalize. She's not, it's an external force that's coming at her, but she's still standing her ground. So here, inquire further. What changes will be? Now there's somebody, or here, what we see most is I do still feel it might be a Melania, because we see she's putting in a lot of work for, like, not just her family and stuff, because she will provide first for them, but it's more of a communal thing as well. So perhaps what she's working towards is, a betterment to make the situation as good as possible, because there are forces that are coming at her as well, you see. Here, and I think that this is another quality of the Queen of Wands, because there's like a strong need for home, providing a stable home. And even though like money is not really going to be a thing, like it's not like she's flush with cash. Maybe she spends money a little bit too much, but even if there's no, like, I mean, I'm not saying there's no money. Maybe there's some money troubles, but there's this refocusing on her home life and stabilizing her inner core and making sure that the people who are around her are safe. And there's stuff that's bothering her mind about that. So now these are changes that are happening for Melania. Are we able to see Melania, perhaps? And it's just a repeating theme here, like a resisting of changes. So perhaps, should we see about the community here? Let's see what, let's see about the community or the work that they've done. No. Yeah, here. Should we see anything about the community? I'd say maybe Twitter, perhaps. Maybe this is what's coming, Twitter. I understand that there's something coming with Donald Trump's Twitter account. Perhaps we'll see something aligning with that. Maybe that's something that should be watched for. Okay, let's see if somebody else is going to come out. Here, I'm curious. Can we confirm exactly who the Queen of Wands is? Okay, confirm who the Queen of Wands is. Like an outstanding characteristic. What's the outstanding characteristic? I mean, I would think that since Donald Trump seems to be in way more trouble than Melania, I might call that the Queen of Wands is possibly Donald Trump. So Donald Trump appears to be in some trouble. We know that. There's some changes going on in his life that he just is not like accepting well. But if he did, yeah, let's just see. So what would happen if he did not resist the changes that are in his life? So what would happen if Donald Trump didn't resist the changes that are in his life? Should we find out what would happen? Yeah, we'll find out. So what would happen if Donald Trump didn't resist the changes in his life? Well, he wouldn't see himself bound up from the past. Where he is here, where he is resisting the changes. Here, we'll take this is our what if maybe pile. So if we have to, here, I'll leave that right over here. This will be our what if maybe pile right there. Yeah, right there. That'll be our what if maybe pile. So we know he is resisting, and we see perhaps there's something coming from his Twitter account. Is there anything else we should know? Okay, so we actually do see somebody else coming out. We see a wife and a husband coming out. But there's something about the husband. So it makes me suspect that maybe not taking these changes that are coming in his life is having a negative impact on his ability to provide for his family. And there is a chance that there might, I would think that this can indicate a couple of things. I saw this once before with Vladimir Putin. There was this energy coming out that there would be some kind of a mental break that would result in like a conservatorship of sorts. So perhaps here we see that there might be maybe I don't want to suggest mental illness or anything like that, but perhaps could we inquire about why? Like I know he's in some trouble. Is there anything further about him that because I see he's in the reverse. Could we find out more about why he's in the reverse? Okay, yeah, I see. Like, I want to take back the part about the mental illness. I think that he really, really likes providing for his family. I think that there's something that's stopping him from being able to provide for his family, and that's causing him great upset. So maybe that is why he's in the reverse. That's what's preying on his mind. That there might be I would suspect maybe he might have a little bit of a concern about possible jail time and the implications that might have on his ability to provide for his family. What if maybe Donald Trump didn't resist the change and What's the worst case scenario for Donald Trump? Well, we see him defending his position. So maybe if he goes to trial, I don't know. Maybe if he goes to trial, that'll be the worst case scenario for him. Because there might be things that are shown that he did for the people that I think that this is a community card myself. So I don't think necessarily that I think there's a chance that, his influence over people might be one of the issues he's facing, like as a result of that. So if he goes to trial, perhaps that will come out and things might just get a lot worse for him. So perhaps if he were to settle, is this what we're seeing? Should we inquire if Donald Trump were to plead guilty, like if he were to make a deal, what would happen? Okay, will there still be struggle? So is Donald Trump royally screwed no matter what he does? Okay, let's see. Donald Trump. Can you guys see? No, you can't see Donald Trump. Okay, here. So this is Donald Trump here. Okay, so that's Donald Trump. I think maybe Donald Trump doesn't want to plead guilty. But I see that he is like a provider. Like his family relies on him. They rely on him not just financially, but in other ways as well, like providing strength. And there's a lack of childlikeness here. Like he's not some silly little boy that wants to start something new. So I think that in his age of life, this isn't something he wants to deal with. He doesn't want all of this trouble. He doesn't want his wife being disturbed. He doesn't want all of these changes to be coming through his life that take away all of the hard work, all the stuff that he's worked for his entire life. And he's kind of, he's like damned if he does, he's damned if he doesn't. He's so kind of royally screwed that it doesn't matter if he pleads guilty, but that's still his best bet. Now we'll just ask one last question. Is there anything else that we should be aware of about Donald Trump? Where here? Because we see it's next to, if he were to plead guilty, I think that he would see that he could convert what he did in the past. Or here, should I? Yeah, okay, so it could be looking at it two different ways, I think. That there's a chance that there's something that Donald Trump is really worried about. I think perhaps in the past he might have done something, like he might have expanded somewhere, like because he's got golf courses, hotels all over the world. Maybe there's a concern on Donald Trump's part. Maybe that's what's really bothering him. Maybe it's not, I think right now he's in trouble for the I think that this is Twitter. I think that this will be, that there's something that he's immediately in trouble over, but he's concerned about something that had, I don't know if his assets are frozen. I would think that there would be like a full, it's not, it's his ability to provide for his family that's being impacted. But we see at the heart of that would be work that was done in order to, like you're laying ground to something. So not necessarily overseas. His business has expanded to like a multitude of different avenues. During his expansion, maybe, is this like a personal? Because I think right now he's most in trouble over his political actions. But could he be concerned about something on the business end of things? Okay, let's see. we see like a manifestation. This inspires the thought that, you know, he's creating almost just he's manifesting. Basically, he's manifesting his dream. Like he's manifesting something. He wanted something and he did it. Ultimately, I see Donald Trump has the ability to manifest his dreams. That there's something he can ride through this, especially with the help of his wife, because she has that quality of providing stability. You know, she's like a calming effect in the storm.